guys, Jeff Beggins here. We're in the middle, as most people are seeing right now, in the real estate award season, right? We call it. So everyone gets awards for all kinds of stuff. And you have a lot of different things happening. And it's interesting for me because, as you know, we got a bunch of agents, we got a ton of offices, a lot of great award winners in the company. And it had me reflecting back the other day, talking with a newer agent as far as what does it really take to get to where they are? Because I see a lot of people really not being realistic about what it's going to take to get really good. So this is something, the conversation I was having with an agent, saying, all right, when you look at all these agents that are getting these awards, right, it's fun for me, number one, because you look at them and you can line them all up against the wall and you just take a look. Some are short, some are tall, some are old, some are young, some are fat, some are skinny, some are dark, some are brown, some are light. I mean, there's such a diversification across the board. There's not one thing that you could say, oh, well, that's because that's why he's doing well, that's why she's doing well. No, it's an absolutely universal leveler in the industry. Everybody can be really good. But here's what it takes, and this is what I've noticed doing this for a long time, is those who are doing well, facts are that they used to suck, right? They really did. So if you look at all the award winners, here's my point. 10% is your goal is to get into the top 10% of the company. That's where people are making a good living. They're doing pretty well. You start looking at those who are taking home the trophies, doing well. If there's 100 agents, there's 10 of them crushing it, right? You have the 80-20 principle, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 10%. Your goal is to get up to the 10%. But what does that take to actually do it? This is what people forget. That's mastery. You look at the agents that are consistently, quarter after quarter, year after year, month after month, being the top. They understand their craft. They know what they're doing. They're good at what they do. They have mastered their craft. Now, mastery is something that's going to take 5 to 7 years. And if you've read the book, you haven't read it yet, and you go through the whole aspects of it, 10,000 hours is what it takes to get really good and considered a master in any craft that you are, right? That's the thing. So I want you to do a little internal reflection right here. If you're honest with yourself, how long have you really been doing this? How many hours do you actually have in your craft? And you're on your way, right? You're on your way. You're on your way. 5 to 7 years, 10,000 hours of practice to get really good at anything. And I think we need that reminder because this is an instant gratification world. You want to go out and get a listing. You want it to sell. You want to double side. You want to get 5 more. It just doesn't happen that way. It takes time. I was talking with Taylor about this. This doesn't happen overnight. This is years in the makings of all of these. This goes from the long-ass, boring city council meetings, the fights, the screams, the zoning, the planning meetings, all the stuff, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 hours, right, into this type of stuff. But that's what it takes. But there's not a whole lot of this, I don't know, right, because we've been doing this for so long. So I would be considered a master in this segment niche of real estate, which is finding good property, getting it rezoned, coming up with the plans, working with a great team, right, coming up with a product, getting it sold, getting it financed, getting it done. And then going, wash, repents, right? There's a million little intricacies that there's no way I could have known when I first started in this one. So give yourself a break is the point, right? Take a deep breath and just be happy that you're en route, right? You're on the path. You are close. 5 to 7 years, 10,000 hours, log it. Get yourself a little success calendar. Calibrate yourself. How far are you? And just get good, right? So, and then realize the top 10%, I promise you, because we've been doing this 31 years now. The top 10%, they really used to suck, right? They didn't know how to prospect. They didn't want to take a picture. They didn't want to post content. They didn't want to knock on doors. They didn't want to do any of that stuff, just like you don't want to do. But they did, right? And those who went through a couple different aspects of it. Some quit, right? I know they were going to be good. They couldn't hack it. They couldn't take it. They're out. They're doing whatever they're doing now. But it's certainly not the type of lifestyle they would have had they kept pushing. So the others are the ones that went knocking on doors or did the whole things that are not sexy and fun in the very beginning, guys, but they didn't quit, right? They didn't get the business, but they didn't quit. So the question was, there's a dividing line. There was failure or feedback. And I don't know which one it is for you, but if you're going to remain in this industry, it better be feedback rather than failure. There is no failure. There is feedback. If I knocked on this door and they told me to go screw off, they don't want to hire, they're never going to hire an agent, and they blah, blah, whatever they want to say, I can either take that as failure or I can take that as feedback, right? And the feedback is, well, can I interview for the job? And then they list with somebody else. I go on a listing presentation, I don't get it. The buyer ghosts on me, they never call me back. Someone's saying something on social media I don't like. That's the stuff, the feedback that we're getting. which is now time to become a master and start really saying, okay, let me take this feedback. I didn't get that deal. Why did that buyer ghost on me? And then let's put some real life feedback onto this one and say, all right, did I record myself? Excuse me. Let's say, all right, did I record myself? Let's listen. Did I mirror and match with them? Did I pay attention with a D personality, I personality, S personality, C personality? Are they visual? Are they auditory? Are they kinesthetic? Did I match their head posture, their volume, their vocabulary, their tempo, their rate of speech, their hand gestures, their blinks, their breathing, all the other stuff that we now know from a master perspective that's going to help us get better at this business. So my question to you is, the last thing you screwed up, was it failure or was it feedback? Right? I bet you that if you didn't dig deep enough to see if you connected well enough, then that is not where you want it to be. So every time you screw up, be thankful for it, but learn from it and get the feedback. Record yourself, guys. The best tool you have is sitting right here. Hit the record button when you go on a door knocking presentation and listen to it later that night. If you're making some phone calls, record yourself, listen to it. If you're going on a listing presentation, record yourself. If you're interviewing a buyer, record yourself, right? Find out where it went wrong, because you're never going to know where it can go right until you figure out when not to screw up again, right? So in the award season that we're in right now, I just want to take that little nugget and give that to you, because 5 to 7 years, 10,000 hours is what it's going to take to be a master. So suck it up, right? You got this. Keep going, push through. You'll be the one up there, either again or for the first times. But it takes time, guys. It takes time. Give yourself that gift. Take the time, do it right, get some skills, get a good leader that's going to push you where you need to be and shorten that time gap a little bit. But you've got this, guys. But that's the answer, okay? It's 10,000 hours, 5 to 7 years for true mastery. So go make this the best week you've ever had. See you guys next time.